Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome dear learners. This is a video for the subject of education for the course of Bachelor's in Education and for the paper of Educational Technology. This video lecture is based on teaching learning strategies and materials, and here in this specific lecture we will be discussing on the e-learning, basically the introduction to e-learning. This video lecture is recorded by Dr. Iram Khan. The course coordinator and the presenter of this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. The academic expert or the reviewer of this video is Professor Jasim Ahmed from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha Channels of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Hello dear students, I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today we will be discussing on teaching learning strategies and materials, and here the focus will be on the introduction to e-learning. What exactly is the meaning of e-learning? What is its nature? Let us start the discussion first with the objectives. The objectives of this session are to discuss the meaning and definitions of e-learning and to elaborate the nature and characteristics of e-learning. E-learning is a very popular concept and it is something which is now very common to all of us. But what exactly it is? The computers with their unimaginable working and functioning capacity, which is coupled with a tremendous progress in the field of electronics, technology, and then a lot of advancements in communication technology. All of these advancements have yielded so many powers, so many abilities and capacities to human beings. All these capacities that we are actually we are catering to, and we are in a position to do anything and everything which can be imagined by somebody or even unimaginable to be done here on this earth. We are in a position to think of and do all these things with the advancement in the fields of electronics and communication and in the field of technical aspects or technology. So teaching and learning, which is an entirely uh, important domain, which is an entirely related domain with where human factor is involved, and in case of human factor, teachers and students are the most important human factors. This particular domain of teaching learning is also very much related to this technological advancements, and there are no nowadays there are no traditional boundaries which come in the ways of the teaching and learning process. We all are seeing that even in the homebound situation the teaching and learning process is going on, and we are in a position to go with the regular teaching learning processes somehow with the help of the online methods. So it is gradually turning into a subject of technological progress, the entire process of teaching learning, and the computer operation and networking. We all visualize the computer operation and networking through various type of revolutions and in different fields, in the field of programmed learning, in the field of computer assisted instructions and even computer managed instructions. We see that the teaching and learning process was getting a lot of assistance. We are not depending on the technology, but we are getting a lot of assistance, and we are getting the aids from the these technical parts, these technical advancements, and this advancement in the field of technology is making our teachers much more strengthened. Even the teachers are in a position to create good kind of subject material in the form of smart books, in the form of various feasible type of material which can be imparted to the students by the technical means. In those cases where it is difficult for the teachers or the administrators to provide a printed book, we are creating ebooks, and these ebooks are provided to the students so that they don't feel that there is any paucity of textbook and their time is going to be saved. We know that the hard copy or printed textbooks are very useful and they cannot be replaced, but in those times when there is it is very difficult to actually get all those printed textbooks, these ebooks, these smart books, and the database which is provided to the students by the online mediums, by different networking facilities, are becoming the lifesavers. So, what happens? This online material, this online teaching manner, it happens to be somehow a kind of substitute when there is a difficulty in running an offline classroom. We can go ahead and replace it with an online classroom so that we can save the time and we can save the students entire year. So we can say that without any exaggeration, if we say that the future of education and the classroom instructions lie to a great extent in the concept and practices of e-learning and virtual classrooms, it will be somehow correct. Because these type of situations which we are facing at present, these situations that we have never imagined. But the point is that once we are in this type of situation, we have to have a solution. We have to go for getting some sort of um, saving point which can actually make us enabled to go ahead and fight with the situation. So here in this lecture, we will be discussing about the emerging field of online learning, which is popularly known as e-learning, electronic learning, and how this electronic learning will be um will be clearly mentioned or meant by if we are taking the name of e-learning, what exactly we mean by it, and what exactly are the characteristic features and the nature of e-learning or the electronic learning, and how it is going to make us as a teacher more worthy. So this entire lecture is going to give you a proper introduction of e-learning or electronic learning technologies. The question is that what is e-learning? E-learning, if we take it as a literal terminology, e-learning is an abbreviation of the term electronic learning. Electronic learning, in its literal meaning, it stands for the type of learning which is carried out or facilitated or supported by some or the other electronic gadgets, and these gadgets are supported by the media or different type of resources. And in a broader meaning, if we try to make out a broader meaning of this term of e-learning, we can say that this can be judged in the sense that learning which is facilitated by the use of any electronic media or any type of means which are basically somehow technological advancements results, like the resulting things which came up by the advancement in the technology, like the microphones, all the uh, magnifying devices, magnification devices, listening devices, or all those audio and video devices. the aid which we are getting from these devices, it can be termed as the part of e-learning. E-learning, however, is not taken in such generalized sense, because in general it may refer to all types of learning facilities which are facilitated and supported through the use of information and communication technology. Yet, in real practical sense, its use is limited and associated in the present time with the field of advanced learning technology, which deals with both the technologies and associated methodologies in learning using the networking, all those internet related uh, technologies, and also the multimedia technologies, where multiple type of mediums, multiple types of resources, maybe they are all these resources come with the audio media or video media or maybe interactive objects, so there can be multiple type of media which can be used. So all these things altogether are considered to be the part of e-learning. And in this sense, e-learning may call for the services of the advanced electronic information and communication media and means. And nowadays, we all know that in the olden days, there were CDs, there were DVDs, and there were many other devices. Even we have got, like earlier, we were having floppies and other type of devices. But nowadays, we are advanced to the hard disks and pen drives, and even we have got teleconferencing, we have got video conferencing technologies, we have got online mediums which through which we can go ahead and take an online class, and we have got a lot of computer based conferencing techniques. Emailing is done, there are live chat methodologies, we do a lot of internet surfing, and we seek whatever we seek as in the form of information. We can go ahead and surf the search engines, and we get the information very in the real time. uh, there is no any kind of information gap. We have to, if we want to know something, we can just go to any of the search engines and we have to type the keywords, and we will get to know what exactly is that particular thing. So nowadays, with the advent of internet, the technologies have come to our hands, and they have become very, very useful for our teaching learning processes. Every single thing is possible because now we are using the internet, the World Wide Web, and the web browsing and techniques. A lot of blogging techniques are being used, the blogs which we create, and there are web logs and all those video blogs which we create, and we place it over the internet. They all are very helpful for our for the dissemination of our thoughts, and even for the learning purposes. So in this way, we can identify the process of e-learning as that it may be taken as an electronically carried out learning which is facilitated and supported by the use of advanced learning technology, particularly calling for the services of computers, networking, and multimedia. So if we are trying to mean what exactly is e-learning, we can give this particular meaning to any individual, and it will be a justified meaning that e-learning may be taken as an electronically carried out learning facility which is facilitated and supported by the use of advanced learning technology, particularly calling for the services of computers, networking, and multimedia. So this is somehow a proper meaning of e-learning. At times, there is a question which emerges that whether or not we should include the learning possibilities which are done through the use of the recorded audio and videotapes. Whether the use of audio and video resources is only the way in which we can say that we are imparting e-learning? So this is a question which is somehow very difficult to answer. Somehow we are puzzled with this particular question. But basically, this term e-learning has entered to the area of teaching and learning in the similar way as other related terms, like we have got email, we have got e-banking, we have got a lot of e-books, and there are e-commerce services, and they all exist with us in our uh, different walks of life. What seem to be common in the nature and the functioning or and use of all these terms, basically they can be summarized in terms of e-learning, that they all these terminologies are all where they actually call for the services of the computers, or any form of computers, a tablet, or nowadays even the smartphones, the laptops, and other technologies in uh, uh, in the use of these technologies. We are actually trying to make the functioning of all those particular services. The use of the internet services and the web technology is the must for their functioning. So whatever e-techniques we are using, we have to have a device which is some form of computers, and also we should be having the internet services and some web technology which should be there. So having a proper look to the nature and use of e-learning, which is dominated by the internet technologies, there is a definition which can be considered to be uh, a very nice definition of e-learning, which was given by Rosenberg in 2001. Let us see that what exactly this definition says. It says that e-learning refers to the use of the internet technologies to deliver a broad array of solutions that enhance knowledge and performance. So this is a sweet and short definition which is given by Rosenberg in the year 2001. And it is very clearly mentioning that e-learning refers to the use of the internet technologies to deliver a broad array of solutions that enhance knowledge and performance. So internet technology is a must. If we are talking about e-learning, we should be talking about internet technology, which is going to provide a lot of solutions to us for the purpose of enhancement of our knowledge. And what is exactly is happening here in the teaching learning process? We are trying to enhance the knowledge of the learner. The teacher who is the part of this teaching learning process, who is facilitating the teaching learning process, is basically trying to enhance the knowledge of the learner. So here this e-learning is going to aid this teacher, and by the entire process, everything is working in terms of providing better knowledge capacities and better facilitation of the knowledge of the learner. So in this way, if we try to have a broad view of the nature and meaning of the concept which we are discussing right now, which is e-learning, in terms of the hard realities of its functioning and use in our day-to-day life, we can come to the conclusion that e-learning is an innovative technique or a form of information and communication technology used in providing learning experiences to the students online through the use of internet services and web technology of the computers, on the same lines as witnessed by us in the form of emailing, e-banking, e-books, or e-booking of all those tickets and everything which is related to e-commerce in our day-to-day life. So it will be a good definition if we try to define e-learning in this way. Let us now see what exactly is the nature and the characteristics of e-learning. And on the basis of whatever we have just seen in terms of the meaning and the definitions, we can draw some conclusions about the nature, meaning, and various functionings, and even the various characteristic features of e-learning, which is basically the part of our lives in the today's world. We cannot go ahead to any extent right now without e-learning. It has become a very kind of instrumental and integral part of our lives if we are a teacher or if we are somehow a student, because every single individual remains a student throughout the life. In one way or the other, e-learning is going to make some impact on him or her. So let us see that what are those characteristic features which can be discussed whenever we are talking about the nature of e-learning. The first point is e-learning is a generic term which is used to refer computer enhanced learning. Basically it is used, and uh, whenever we are using this e-learning terminology, we should be talking about one way or the other where computers are involved. The use of e-learning should be strictly limited to online learning, which is carried out through the internet or web-enabled technology. Somewhere, if we are using a intranet in various institutions, there are intranets. So inside the institution, even the e-learning is possible, where without the internet, only by the use of intranet, we can uh, we can enable the students to learn by the help of computers. That is why we are seeing that web enabled technology or some sort of technology where uh, the teacher is sitting at the one end, and by the help of the computer the students are in a position to attend the classes or the materials which are provided by the learner. And most of the times internet and web enabled technology is the part of this e-learning scenario. E-learning conveys a broader meaning that the terms computer based learning and computer aided instructions are somehow instrumental whenever we are talking about e-learning. It is broader in its meaning than what exactly is conveyed through the simple terms like online learning or online education. We all can say that these terms, that online learning or online education, may call for the absolute web-based learning without any follow-up, communication and interaction between the teacher and the student. So that is why we can say that e-learning is more than only the online learning or online education. It can be uh, somehow more than only the web-based instructions where we are not giving any follow-up or we are not providing any type of interaction. So in e-learning, we go for a lot of interaction, a lot of techniques which can be assistive for us as a teacher, and we can help the students for doing their daily teaching and learning process. It should not be taken as synonymous to the audiovisual learning resources or multimedia learning or distance education or distance learning. It is true that the audiovisual resources, the multimedia technology, and even the distance education programs, they all use e-learning heavily. They all use a lot of e-learning techniques in the present times, and the internet and the web services which are provided through the computers are something which we can say that these the media technologies and the distance education programs use a lot. Yet these are not identical but can be considered as complementary to e-learning. We cannot say that these are synonymous to e-learning. It should be made absolutely clear that the use of the term e-learning should be restricted to the type of learning which is carried out facilitated or supported through web enhanced instructions and the internet based communication. And here we can take, when we are talking about internet based communication, we can take the name of the emailing techniques. We are nowadays using different classrooms, and even we are using the email groups for providing the material to our students. We are using a lot of social media platforms, audio and video conferencing methods. Uh, we are using group calls. There is like ways where we can make a mailing list, and groups, email groups can be made, and we are in a position to send mails to our students. As a teacher, we can just create an email group and we can send the email to, in one time we can send an email to all our students. Maybe there are 100 students and they can get the mail in one click. There are also the ways in which we go for live chats, and even we can go for video chats where the students can even express their thoughts in front of the teacher, because in this way the teacher is, the visual of the teacher is also in front of the student. So it becomes easier and very much alive, like the the passiveness is gone. It becomes active when we are facing our students. And as a result, all types of non-internet and non-web technology should not be included in the domain of e-learning. Let us now see what exactly, if we talk about e-learning in the contemporary context, what is now e-learning for us? The concept and the mechanism of e-learning are very much associated with the use of the internet and web technology, which is delivered to the end users. And who are these end users? All our students, by the means of computers or different devices, any type of device which is considered to be a smart device, a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, any device which is a form of computer only. So this is something which gives us an idea about e-learning. But what exactly e-learning is doing for us in the present scenario? What is its true nature and functioning when we talk about this e-learning in the present time? Nowadays, it has become a lifesaver for all of us, and we all know how much it is useful. So the learners are found to make use of variety of recorded content, and for the purpose of gaining the desired information and learning experiences in their concerned subjects. And all these content, all the material which is recorded, whether we should include all this material into the category of e-learning or not, this is a question. Now, we have also seen the emergence of mobile learning. What is this mobile learning? Where we are learning while moving. It has a lot of advantages. Even while we are actually visiting a place, or we are traveling, we can go ahead with our learning process. So mobile learning, which is popularly called as m-learning, it is also somehow a very important aspect of e-learning. It has the advantage of allowing learners to be on the move while learning. As a result, the learner may reap the benefits of the recorded information, any of the lectures, or the learners can connect with the internet and web pages even while they are doing uh, their any sort of work. They are traveling, or they are jogging, or they are actually working. Somehow they are not in a position to sit, and they are still in a way of some examination, and they want to do some sort of practice. So they can use these devices and they can learn while they are on the move. So this technique calls for the services of the mobile phones. Even we have got certain other devices. The palm tops are there. There are a lot of there are iPods, there are podcasting devices which are available nowadays and the students are using. So now we can say that even these are the part of the e-learning technology, e-learning services. Nowadays we are also going for e-books. The e-books are coming in the form of various smart books, even where the books are integrated with the QR quick response codes, which if we scan with our devices, QR coding code scanners, we can have the uh, media, or we can have the video content which is related to the these textbooks. So that is also somehow the part of learning. We have got a lot of other things, like we have got e-commerce, e-banking. So each of these services, we nowadays order our grocery even through the phone. So these things were all, these are also somehow the part of this e-learning scenario. They also include somehow the mobile phones, the services of mobile phones and the devices which can be controlled while we are moving. So the pertinent question that arises with the emergence of m-learning or mobile learning is that whether it should be included in the domain of e-learning or not. This is something which we have to brainstorm. Let us try to seek explanation about all those questions which I have just posed right now in front of you. So while the use of the recorded material, recorded resources, where we are having the recorded CDs or DVDs or in the pen drives or in any of the device, we have got some recorded resources for learning. Basically is concerned with the prior stage of the evolution of the concept of e-learning. The mobile learning may be well regarded as an extension of e-learning, and therefore where one is the past of the present day e-learning, the other is the promising future. We can say that all those recording devices and the recorded resources, they in the past they were all considered as the concept or as the part of the e-learning only. And nowadays we are seeing that the mobile technology and all those techniques which are allowing us to move ahead, even we can learn while traveling, while we are on the move, they are making us much more future ready, and these are considered as the extension of the e-learning. And therefore where we can say that one is the past and the other one is the future. And it has been properly emphasized by many of the people, by many of the technologists, that when we talk about the the e-learning technology or e-learning techniques, we can find that there is a proper evolution which is cited and which can be seen if you just try to see the chronological account. It can be seen very properly, and the findings of many people mention that there are distinct stages in the evolution of the concept of e-learning, and there are four distinct stages. What are these distinct stages? The first stage is the multimedia era, which started from the 1984 and it ran through 1993. Then web infancy. Web infancy was the next, you can say, the benchmark. It started from 1994 and it ran through 1999. Then came the next generation web, and it is considered to be starting from year 2000 and it ran through 2005. And after that, we have got mobile learning, which is the present form of e-learning. And as a consequence of these four distinct stages of the evolution of the term e-learning, we can make a kind of scenario where we can say that if we are using the term e-learning, we can say that the stored information and knowledge of the devices, the those resource containing devices, even we can go for all those DVDs or for all those pen drives, hard disks and all, which are coupled with or even without the internet and web technology. So if there is a device which is having some recorded content, if it is over the web, then also it can be considered as a part of e-learning. And if it is not over the web, like if we have got something recorded only in a pen drive, that is also the part of e-learning. And if that particular content is over the internet, it is uploaded somewhere on a repository or on a website, then also we can consider it as the part of e-learning. Then the internet and web technology services delivered through the computers and the laptops, even on the smartphones and various other devices, they are considered to be the part of the e-learning regimen. The advanced m-learning technology delivered through any of the devices, any of the media, using any web, like we have got smart TVs, and we have got all those smartphones, pagers. Now pagers are the term which has become history, but they were very popular at one particular time. There are also palm tops, iPods, and many other devices like tablets and others. So all these things, all those devices, whenever we use all these devices enhanced with the use of internet, or we are using all those resources, we are somehow integrating these to form the e-learning services. So in this way, we can term the present day e-learning as a learning which is carried out, supported and facilitated by the advanced multimedia facilities as well as internet and web technology delivered to the end users via any form of computers or laptops and mobile phones or any other ICT appliances. So let us just have a quick overview, a quick recap, whatever we have studied today. We have got some information related to e-learning, that e-learning is an abbreviation of the term electronic learning. It may be understood as an innovative technique or a form of ICT used in providing learning experiences to the students online through the use of internet services and web technology of the like using any of the computer-led devices. And however, in practice, as we all find in the present day, the use of the term e-learning is not limited to the use of internet and web technology. Therefore, we can say that in the present scenario, we can term the e-learning as a learning carried out, supported and facilitated by the advanced multimedia facilities as well as internet and web technology delivered to the end users via any of the computer devices, any of the laptops or mobile phones, or any other ICT appliance. So this is something which is here like presented to you in this introductory video of e-learning. We will have another video where we will be discussing more about e-learning and the other factors, the other features which are related to e-learning. These are few of those references which were used for developing the lecture. You can also go ahead and read more. Thank you from my side for this video. We will see each other in another video another time. Thank you so much. Dear learners, we were watching a video on teaching learning strategies and materials. In this lecture, an introduction to e-learning was discussed. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the homebound situation of COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your email to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thank you so much.